Trying to see, trying to see, trying to see. I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see. I believe so. Might actually did the sound this time too. Testing 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2 3. Let me make sure. Okay. Well, I guess I can get right into it. Okay, let me put this on. I forgot to change the. Let me change the thumbnail actually. Well, I guess I can get. Okay, turn this off. I don't like to hear. Change the thumbnail. Let me change the thumbnail real fast, and then I'll put this on public. How do I change the thumbnail from here? Cancel that. Let me see if I can change it. See if I can change the thumbnail. I think it's okay. It's glitching now. Okay, it was glitching a little bit. Okay, there you go. Okay, let me change the thumbnail real fast. I can figure out how to do it. Settings. There you go, right there. Okay, change the upload thumbnail. Any upload thumbnail, Justin Fields picture. Justin Fields. Okay. And then let me go alter content. No, it's not. Not AI. Okay, the tags right there. Why is it? I'm gonna be the old person that was here. Did that. I'm like, why did it say? Okay, when you think you put Steelers? Okay. Okay, save that. Okay, now let's see. Now I'm film public. So you guys watching this early, I probably put the timestamp so you can go ahead and skip past. But I thought I had everything correct, but I did not. Had a thumbnail up there. So yeah, so let me put this on public, and then we can get things going. There you go. I couldn't find it at first. I'm like, what the public thing is? Okay, public. Okay, done. Save. And now it should be public now. Okay. Okay, guys. Welcome in. Welcome in. I got everything straightened out. I guess when you see the video after, it will show the stuff at the beginning probably. But yeah. Let me go to this. So today we're just discussing, of course, a little bit here for like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes, just discussing maybe less. Just discussing Justin Fields, why I believe he is the guy to be our quarterback, and also talking about some roster moves as well. Cause I've seen our cap space and seeing how we can free cap space up and seeing how we can add more pieces, what pieces we need to add and look for too. I'm gonna do another video probably separately later this week discussing some guys I think like Jerry Alexander, Marlon Humphrey, who might be getting maybe released or something from their team like that. Maybe you never know. You never know. Sometimes contracts get too high and stuff, so they might be a cap casualty from their team, and you might have an opportunity to jump on that and bring one of those guys in. So we'll see exactly where we land. Okay, starting off. Well, actually, I think am I inverted? Hold on. Flip this camera like this. I'm inverted. That's all right. I think so. I think the other way was actually. The other way was better, I think, at first. Look at you put in the settings on Streamlab and just do random stuff. But we just keep it like this. It look like I'm looking to the sky, but we'll keep it like this. Yeah, but I think starting off first with Justin Fields. Justin Fields, like I mentioned many times on this channel before, I believe he's the best option for QB. You know, the Steelers have tried to find all type of different guys, and for the past few years, we had Big Ben, you know, in 2021 and 2022-ish, and he retired, of course, and then Kenny Pickett, we drafted him in the first round, and it didn't work out too well, and then now Mr. Trubisky as well, you signed him, Mason Rudolph, and then Russell Wilson come in, then you trade for Justin Fields, so we have all type of quarterbacks coming in, but for yet and still, we still find a way to be competitive, but the Steelers need to find a solidified guy. I think Justin Fields will be a guy, and I think if the Steelers can, like, take the training wheels off of him, and just pit everything to back him, and add those pieces and stop being cheap, and go out there and get the right pieces, and the coaching staff, right pieces on the offensive side, you know, receivers and stuff, running backs and all the things we need to get. You go out there and do that, I think you can have a guy who can, like Justin Fields, who can be very successful with the Steelers. So we'll have to wait and see what they do. But I think what's the name? Like, you look at some of Fields' stat breakdowns, really. Fields, Steelers versus Bears stuff. The Steelers was probably, I know he only played 6 games as a starter, but that was probably his best stuff. His best stuff as a starter. You know, you look at the other times with the Bears, he had like percentages was a little low. He had 50% completion percentage in rookie season and all the things that happened and stuff as well. But with the Steelers, he had his best touchdown to interception ratio, which was 5-1. He also had his best completion percentage as well. He completed 64% of his passes, which was the highest ever in his career. And also, as a Steeler, the Steelers averaged 131 rushing yards per game when he started, and which dropped off about 30 yards when Russ got in. So Fields brought a different element to our game. And I think once he kind of things got going on a little bit longer, they probably would have opened up a lot more for him offensively, like playmaking ability, like to push the ball down the field. Because I feel like Arthur Smith and Coach Tomlin them had him kind of like being a little like hemmed in a little bit. They didn't want him to do too much. They wanted him to kind of just use his legs and attack the field, like the short parts of the field, outside the numbers. But I want to see him actually go out there and utilize his arm strength and utilize his ability to get out the pocket and make plays. I think he has potential to be pretty nice. And if it doesn't work out, it'd be cool because we won't have to pay too much to get him. But right now, the market value for him is like $10 to $15 million. So you probably can bring him in. You know, maybe around that range, maybe 10 mil. If you can get 10 mil, it'd be perfect. You know, 2-year deal, $20 million, pay 10 mil a year. Or a 2-year deal, maybe 24 million. I think kind of be around that range where you're paying 12 mil a year. You bring him in, and if it doesn't work out, you can cut ties because it's not a crazy amount. But Russell Wilson, you bring him in, his asking price is going to be a little high. Unless he take a dramatic, like a gigantic pay cut and get down to like around that range, it's a different story. But Russ' asking price is probably going to be around $30 million. So if you bring him in and he started to act up and not play too well, then you kind of be back to the same point you was. And plus, Russ is a little older, too, so you've been in the same position. But at least with a young quarterback, you know he had a little more upside. So I think Justin Fields, if he's available, and he want to play here, he kind of like hinted towards that a lot of times in the social media posts and all the things, you know, the way that things are speculating. They said the Steelers around the organization, they like Justin Fields a lot, too. So I would be all for to bring him in. Might as well. Bring him in. Bring him in and add that guy to the outside. I mean, add the guy to our quarterback room, and then just build around him. He's only 25 years old. You know, he still has a lot of juice left, of course. You know, last year him being 4-2 as a starter, and I think I believe he had one game against the Colts where he played very good. I feel like we kind of finally seen, because we played behind, so we couldn't run the ball like we wanted to run. We played a little behind because the Colts went out there and they were scoring like crazy against us. And we've kind of seen a glimpse of what Justin Fields could be. He threw for 300-something yards, 320 yards that game, a touchdown pass as well, and he also rushed for 2 touchdowns and 55 rushing yards, had almost 400 yards of offense. He was playing some phenomenal football that game. So I think that'd be more what we can see if they go out there and add some weapons. Like I keep advocating for, you go out there, get Chris Godwin, get you Darius Slayton, add you some pieces, some dynamic pieces with George Pickens to go out there and help us. You got to spend some money. Like that. So, and this is why I made this video today, to discuss some roster moves as well we should do. But I think Fields will be a nice quarterback. I can't really see anybody else who's going to be as valuable or who will give us help us like immediately. Like Fields will help us. I'm trying to think. Like I know people keep saying, I seen some stuff that said Aaron Rodgers. That's not going to happen. That's not going to work. That's not going to work out too well either. Aaron Rodgers is cool and all, but he's a legend and stuff. But I don't think Aaron Rodgers will be good here in Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers has had the injuries he had, of course, with the Jets, and has been on the decline, getting a little older as well. And plus, you'd be in the same predicament. So it'd be better to get a younger quarterback. Sam Darnold, that one could work if the Steelers was like guaranteeing, like, okay, we're gonna go out there and make some moves and sign some guys and add some people around you. Because Sam Darnold worked well with the Vikings because they did that. They went out there and added some people. They added guys that are going to help him and guys who can kind of like make Sam Darnold comfortable out there. The pieces they had around with the Vikings, Jordan Addison, you got Justin Jefferson, of course, Aaron Jones, the offensive line pretty good as well. The Steelers, now if the teams stay content with what they are right now, they trying to be cheap, then it'll be in the same predicament we was last year. But I think the Steelers team know they have to make some changes. They have to make some moves, so go out there and add some weapons. So I wouldn't be opposed to a Sam Darnold or Geno Smith coming here. I feel like those two guys would be guys if you can't get Justin Fields back, you bring those two guys in. The asking price might be a little higher. I think you have to trade for Geno Smith. Sam Darnold asking price would be higher, but you'd be like, okay, he's on the younger side. He's 27 years old, so younger side of things. So we'll see how things work out. If it doesn't work out, you can always move on from it. Nothing like crazy guaranteed. Maybe you sign him to a 1-year deal or something. But I think Fields might be the best option for the Steelers to go with. Bring Justin Fields in, let him do what he do, add weapons. If it doesn't work out, you can easily move on because the money won't be too high. But if it does work out, you can keep adding on to it and see what it leads you and where it takes you. So we'll see. We'll see. What's up, Jared? What's up? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. The Steelers do. We'll see what the Steelers do. It's gonna be interesting to see what fully happens. But yeah, Fields points per game as a starter. It was 21 points per game. Russ was 23 points per game. Russ played 11 games. Fields played 6 games, and most of those games he was kind of handicapped. So he averaged 21 points per game for us. And then Russ had 23 points per game. It started out very hot at 28 points per game. Eventually we started getting a little stale, a little stagnant. Was able to run the ball, and Russ, he's kind of been the same quarterback his whole career. Either the dump off or the deep ball like that. It kind of been the same thing through his career, so he's not going to change that. Fields, you have an opportunity to still coach him up, change his style up a little bit to kind of make him adjust to what you want to do. And he kind of fits the new generation with the league is going. I know a lot of people don't want Fields to be back. Some people don't want him back. A lot of fans do want him back, but some fans want us to do something else. But I'm like, who else would you bring in? There's other options out there that's kind of valuable, and you want to draft a quarterback. So Dewey Sanders will be gone probably the first 5 picks. Cam Ward probably be gone around the first 5 picks-ish as well. And then you look at Jalen Moreau. He got to work on his accuracy. A lot of things to fix. You're going to take Quinn Ewers? I don't think so. You're going to take Carson Beck. Carson Beck probably a 4th or 5th round pick. So the draft class for QBs this year is some top guys like Shedeur and Cam Ward. But besides that, everybody else is kind of like projects you want to kind of see around and work with. I know Howard. People keep talking about him from Ohio State. But those are some guys you got to probably build up. So the Steelers looking to probably try to add a guy who already been here before. And Justin Fields only a few years older than those guys, like 2 years older than some of those guys. So it'd be kind of beat the purpose of me getting a guy who's a little younger. But I can just get a guy who's already around the same age and who already have experience in the NFL and experience on his team to just bring in. So the draft quarterback wouldn't be the most smart thing to do. So we'll have to see exactly what we do fully. I think it'd be better for us to just go with Fields and then see what happens. Now, if something come about where there's another guy available, I know Kyler Murray, there's people hinting that he might get traded. That would be pretty cool to get Kyler Murray, but I doubt he'd get traded, but it'd be like a rumor about that. I know Matthew Stafford is getting traded too as well. People keep hinting around that, but I don't think Matthew Stafford would be a good piece for the Steelers. I keep seeing that. I keep seeing the Matthew Stafford one and the Aaron Rodgers one to the Steelers. I'm like, those guys are older, and they're on the decline of things, especially Matthew Stafford. I know his numbers last year was 20 touchdowns to 8 interceptions, but he's on the decline of things, and he's a statue in the pocket as well. He might play a little better with the new scenery or with more weapons and a great offensive mind, but the Steelers don't have that. We have limited weapons. And our offensive mind that we have, Arthur Smith, he's all right. And sometimes in certain instances of things, maybe with certain personnel, he can play and kind of coach better. But it'd be best to just go with Fields, go with the guy who's familiar, and then maybe wait the next year. You want to draft a quarterback next year? I'll be all for it, especially if it doesn't work out too well this year. Let's say Fields he don't play too well, and Fields like go out there and throw 18 touchdowns and he throw 10 picks, and the Steelers like win 9 games or 10 games and miss the playoffs or first on one and done again. Then you draft a quarterback next year, and maybe some more guys to that next year draft class. And I think in 2027, that's when they have all the top guys. People waiting for the Arch Manning. Arch Manning not gonna be there next year in 2026. I think he's gonna play another year on his belt and kind of get more developed and stuff as well. He'll probably be there 2027, 2028, around that range. So you have to wait to see when he comes out of college. But I would just be all for Fields just to be the guy. So we have to see what the Steelers do and what decision they make. Moving on next, of course, to the topic of discussing some of the like the roster breakdowns, like the roster moves we need to make to like trying to change some things up and mix some things up. I think the main one is, of course, releasing some players. Now, there's a lot of players on our team, I feel like, who can be some kind of cap casualties for us a little bit in a sense. Because right now the Steelers they did have a higher, I think it was like around 50 million cap space. But then, over the past, like some of the contracts that kind of come out a little bit more and stuff as well, the Steelers are sitting at now $40 million. So from some of their cap space right now. So they have an opportunity to get even more money to go out there, use some of that money to bring back Fields, use that money to maybe bring in a Chris Godwin, a Darius Slayton. Maybe you go out there and say, I want to trade for Garrett Wilson or something, or do that, bring some guys in so have the cap space cleared up. So I think one thing to do, or Jerry Alexander or Marlon Humphrey, if those guys available, they do find a way away from their team, one of those individuals. But I think the Steelers could clear it up. Starting off first, of course, Preston Smith, $13 million cap hit. Preston Smith was added to the team for more depth purposes because the Steelers was trying to go all in. The Russ was playing real hot, and the Steelers was playing real good. He was on a win streak. They traded for Preston Smith to add more depth on the outside for the edge rushers to kind of go all in for that year to see if we can go out there and muster out a Super Bowl. And it did not turn out well, of course. It didn't turn out well for the Steelers, so they fell a little short of getting to that Super Bowl point. And, Preston Smith's on the team now, $13 million cap hit. You can release him. I think you'll save like $10 million to release him. I think he's only owed $3 million of that. So you release him, save a lot of money from that. Larry Ogunjobi only had 1 sack last year, and he's been injured in and out. Now with the Steelers, when he do out there and like he's available and stuff, he's pretty solid. But he's not hasn't done a lot, and he's getting older too in age as well. And the Steelers paying, I think his cap hit is $7 million. The Steelers could save money by releasing Larry Ogunjobi and Preston Smith. Another guy too will be Cordell Patterson. Cordell Patterson, I think his cap hit is 2.8? Yeah, 2.8 million. Cordell Patterson, and you look at Cole Holcomb, $6 million. That one's kind of like a little shaky. You don't know if you want to bring him back because he did play pretty good before he went down with the injury, and he had like a lot of different things occurring, of course, fully with him. What to say? I thought something happened. A trade happened. I've been on standby a little bit watching the trade stuff for the NBA because I'm a Heat fan. I do my other sports channel. I discuss the trades and stuff. I thought a trade happened right there, but that was just saying something else. It's on Kevin Durant and stuff. But Cole Holcomb would be nice to keep, but we got to kind of find out if he's gonna get back to that level, how healthy he is. He's gonna be able to play and be available for the team. If not, then you have to move on and get somebody else. So we'll see what the Steelers do fully. I'm looking forward to see what roster moves we make, things we do to kind of switch some things up. So that's kind of the money moves to clear some cap space up. You cut Preston Smith, you cut Larry Ogunjobi, Cordell Patterson, they really give us too much. We thought we were going to have a different element to kick return game, but he looked a little slow. He had one good game against the Colts, which was a pretty solid game he had before he had knocked out with a concussion, but he really didn't do too much for us. Had some fumbles, some bad plays, some negative yards, and different things that happened. Maybe a few years back he might have been more productive, but Arthur Smith, that was Arthur Smith guy in Atlanta. He loved him like that. Used him as a gadget player, playing all different positions around the offense, but it just didn't work out with the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I feel like it's better to move on from him. Dean Lowry's another person, $2.5 million. You probably can move on from him. You can draft and add more capital. That you can replace that spot easily in the draft, late rounds maybe or something. So most likely we'll see most of those guys get released. Cole Holcomb is a $6 million cap hit, like I mentioned. So we kind of see how he looks. But basically, that's kind of the players right now I think the Steelers should probably look into, hey, let me go ahead and release these guys. He said if 80 can be traded for Luka, then we can trade GP for Justin Jefferson. Hey, I'll be all for it. I don't know if the Vikings will be all for it, but I'll be all for it. Yeah, that is true. AD did get traded for Luka, which is crazy. Some other pieces in there that draft too as well. I mean, in that trade as well. You know, they had Maxi Kleber, but Maxi Kleber is injured. He's out for the year. And then you got Max Christie. He's all right. The rookie. He's not a rookie. He's a second-year player now, second or third-year player. But they really didn't have to give up too much. So you just give up AD for Luka Doncic. Like I can find another big man like that. That's still a crazy trade, but I'll be all for it. Might have to trade somebody. I would love Garrett Wilson to be here. Garrett Wilson, I think, is a big time piece. I think he'd be nice with the Steelers. I know he getting tired of the jumping around from quarterbacks with the Jets and organization being unstructured. Now the Steelers have a lot of different quarterbacks too as well, but we still have a structured organization, an organization that's still competitive and stuff. I think him on one side, GP on the other side would be very cool. You have to see what the asking price is. I think I would say and predict around maybe second round pick to maybe get him, but you have to kind of wait and see if the Jets, and he officially asked for a trade like Myles Garrett did. Myles Garrett asked for a trade. I kind of seen it coming. He kept hinting towards it. He said, I do not want to be a part of a rebuild. He said, I want the team to go out there and be like competitive, like the team still be in like win now mode. And I guess the Browns go into rebuild mode. So he said, hey, you know what? You can rebuild without me. And I know a lot of Steelers fans were saying like, no, keep Myles away. In my opinion, they're not trading Myles Garrett to the Steelers, of course. They would never trade him in the division. But imagine the Steelers having Myles Garrett on one side and TJ Watt on the other side, with Cam Hayward in the middle, with Keanu Benton, and you have Herbig rotating in and out. That'd be great. I know Steelers run 3-4 defense, so Myles Garrett is a DN. They play a 4-3 with the Browns, so it'd be a little different. But great players find a way to adjust. So he'd be on the edge. He can do different things as well. Preston Smith did a little bit of that too, adjusting. Like they find a way to adjust some things. But Myles Garrett would be nice. Myles Garrett would be nice if the Steelers was able to get him. But I doubt the Browns trade him within the division. That'd be foolish. But you never know. I'd be like, hey, I give you. They say want a first round pick. If I can give you a first round pick straight up for him, I'll do it. But most likely gonna be a first round pick, and you gotta kind of like measure out the salaries. First round pick and Alex Highsmith for Myles Garrett. That'd be a good trade. You know, you get the Browns getting Alex Highsmith. You know, I think we had like 7, 8 sacks last year. Good player. And then you get a first round pick as well. And we get Myles Garrett with TJ Watt together. That'd be crazy. I don't think that would happen, but imagine the damage TJ Watt and Myles Garrett can do. TJ Watt and Myles Garrett, that'll be game changing right there. That'd be like that would be amazing to see. I don't know how that would work out with some of the money, because you got to stink TJ Watt as well, but you'll make it work out. You'll figure it out. Imagine those two guys, because Myles Garrett like to move as well, and you get like TJ Watt moving, Myles Garrett moving, and both of those guys making plays and switching sides and stuff. Teams wouldn't know what to do. Teams wouldn't know what to do with TJ Watt and Myles Garrett on the same team, but I doubt the Browns do that. But that would be a good trade. A first round pick in Alex Highsmith for Myles Garrett, send him over here. But they would not do that, though. They're probably going to trade him to the other conference. They're probably going to be traded to, like, the 49ers or Lions or somebody that's contending over there. Probably a different team on the other side. But that'd be crazy, though. Yeah, but another thing they still need to do, though, as well, is add playmakers, like I mentioned many times. Like I said, the Garrett Wilson trade would be cool. Or if you go out there in free agency, bring in a Chris Godwin, former All-Pro, Super Bowl champion as well, multiple-time Pro Bowler as well. Is a nice player. I think you bring him in, it'll bring some veteran leadership to the locker room. The locker room has struggled from that veteran leadership. George Pickens could not be the veteran guy in the locker room. We've seen him still trying to learn from the immaturity in a little bit and try to find a way to get things kind of back on track and stuff. But I think getting a guy like Chris Godwin in that locker room will help out a lot. And if you want to add Darius Slayton, would be cool too. I know Christian Kirk might be available too as well. He might be able to get released, maybe by the Jaguars or something. We'll see exactly what happened. I don't know, the Steelers was by the trade for him at first. They said the Steelers was like in talks with Jaguars, heavy talks about the trade for Christian Kirk, and then he had the injury. Remember, I think he had a torn labrum or something. Yeah, and the Steelers, of course, can't trade for him because he's injured now. But we'll see exactly where he's going to be as well. He's a deep threat type talent. I think he'll fit well too, complement George Pickens well. But I would love us to get Chris Godwin. Chris Godwin, I feel like he'll fit the Steelers perfectly. A physical receiver. He kind of reminds you of Hines Ward a little bit too, where he's willing to block. Physicality, the leadership you have there, and will help our team out a lot. Being a consistent guy to get open. It will open up much more for GP as well, and open much more for the running game as well too. Because it's kind of hard to run the ball when teams don't trust your outside receiver. They're like, we can just keep loading the box up. I don't trust Calvin Austin or Van Jefferson to beat me every single time. So teams can just keep loading the box up and keep playing their style. And we've seen teams do that kind of as season went on. Early on, we was able to run the ball a little bit more because Justin Fields was able to use his legs and get out things, and they had to kind of like account for that. The RPOs and those run options and stuff like that was going on. So he was out there going crazy. But as time went on, when Russell Wilson got in, it was kind of different because they knew Russell Wilson, he can move, but he's not as mobile as he once was. So they were able to just load the box up, do different things. Our rushing numbers went down, and none of the guys on the outside were able to make plays. Mike Williams, he got opportunities here and there, but his route running is kind of limited, especially in this type of scheme Arthur Smith's trying to run. So he really wasn't utilized a lot in this scheme. So it'd be better to get a guy like Chris Godwin who can fit anywhere. You can play him from the slot, position. You can put him in the outside as the X. You can put him all around the field and let him do different things and stuff. And the ball in his hands, he make plays. He's physical as well. So I think it'd be nice to bring in. He said, I hope we see coaching staff changes soon. I hope so too. I hope we get coaching staff changes. Come like, it's time for us to like add some real deal, like guys, especially on the offensive side, like offensive line coach. Definitely defensive coordinator, defensive side. Terrell Austin. It's time for us to move on from him. But the Steelers I got a feeling they're probably gonna keep the same guys because usually coaching staff changes that happen right now. You see all other teams doing this stuff. Maybe the Steelers waiting to after the Super Bowl to see who's all available. Maybe they want to get a guy in that coaching staff, the Super Bowl staff, and say, hey, you coach the Eagles DBs. How about you come coach the Steelers defense or something like that? Or maybe they're going after the guy like that. But the Steelers, and usually teams make moves around this time, like for their coaching staff. They be like D-line coaches. They go out there and sign different guys, offensive coordinators, and all different type of guys. They kind of like make the moves. So the Steelers haven't made any moves. So I'm probably thinking that they're going to be content on staying where they at with the coaching staff. I hope not. I hope they add some top level guys. Go to colleges. Go somewhere. Add some top level guys, like top tier guys to bring to the team to coach our D-line, to coach our receivers as well, to coach our offensive line, and just make things happen like that to get better in that standpoint. Offensive coordinator, I think they're most likely going to keep. Hit the mute button. Let me see. Offensive coordinator, I think they're most likely going to keep. Hit the mute button. Okay, there you go. Yeah, but I think most likely they're going to keep. They probably keep Arthur Smith. Kind of sadly a little bit, but it's okay. It's okay. Arthur Smith be there. He's not terrible, but he's all right. He's all right. Like candidate to have around. Not terrible. Like guy to call the plays, but just not what we need fully. And maybe Justin Fields in. He said he did want Justin Fields to be a guy, and he had a little success running the football with him. Hopefully open up more in the passing game with that. But we have to wait and see exactly what happens with the coaching staff changes and the different things to kind of move around and stuff. But yeah, that's really kind of all I have for today, really. Let's look in here. I think it's playing on here. Kind of move around and stuff. But yeah, that's really kind of all I have for today, really. No, maybe it's glitching on YouTube. It's playing on here. It's playing on here right here. Yeah, but that's really all I got today. All I have today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave like and subscribe for more content. I'll be back probably next week to discuss some stuff as well. But it's the off season, so a lot of news ain't happening. But I'm gonna wait till the draft time to get things going. Yeah, I think YouTube is. I think YouTube is tripping. Yeah, but yeah, this is all I have. This is all I have for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. But yeah, let me know down below in the comment section down below if you're watching the after or you're watching it. What you think about the roster moves the Steelers should make and what you think about Justin Fields being the guy and the things and QB options and stuff. Kind of most of the topics. I know it's the same topics a lot at the time. I just reword them different ways, like QBs and this and that. But it's the off season. That's what we got to do. I wish my team was still in the playoffs, of course, in the Super Bowl. But that's what we got to do in the off season. So we have to see what our team do. But it does get fun around free agency time. When March gets here, on the first week of March, free agency. I'm gonna start doing my drafts as well on my channel and on this channel as well. Free agency talk as well. That's when things kind of heat up. You start seeing signings and stuff happen, and then you get to a cold period around like I think after like March, April, then May. You get the cold period June, and then you start seeing those OTAs. Those are cool and all. Training camp is cool and all, but you want to see the game. Then you have a long period, a few months until you get to the preseason. Then you can start getting back to what you do. But yeah, that's all I have for today's video. I'll see you guys when I see you. Peace out. Return the stream. Yep. If I can turn the stream off, I can peace out. There you go. Peace.